Now let's see the several approaches are ways to virtualize cloud servers. There are few things: a grid approach, or operating system level approach, and hypervisor based virtualization. These are the three things we have. Let's see the first one: grid approach, where the processing workloads are distributed among different physical servers and their results are then collected as one. Next one is operating system level virtualization, that is called OS level virtualization. Here, multiple instances of an application can run in an isolated form on a single operating system. The third one is hypervisor based virtualization, of course, which is currently the most widely used technique. With hypervisors virtualization, there are various sub approaches to fulfill the goal of running multiple applications and other loads on a single physical host. The technique is used to allow multiple machines to move from one host to another without shutting down. This technique is termed as leave migration. Another technique is used to actively load balance among multiple hosts to utilize those available resources in a virtual machine efficiently. The concept is termed as distributed resource scheduling or dynamic resource scheduling. So now let's see how virtualization works in cloud. Virtualization plays a significant role in cloud technology and its working mechanism. Usually, what happens in the cloud, the users not only share the data that are located in the cloud like applications, but also share their infrastructure with the help of virtualization. Virtualization is used mainly to provide applications with standard versions for cloud customers. With the release of latest version of an application, the providers can efficiently provide that application to the cloud and its users. And it is possible using virtualization only. By using this virtualization concept, all servers and softwares other cloud providers require, those are maintained by a third party, and the cloud provider pays them on a monthly or yearly basis. In reality, most of today's hypervisors use a combination of different types of hardware virtualization. Mainly, virtualization means running multiple systems on a single machine but sharing all resources, and it helps to share IT resources to get benefits in the business field. Next, see differences between virtualization and cloud. So essentially, there is a gap between these two terms. Though cloud technology requires the concept of virtualization. Virtualization is a technology. It can also be treated as software that can manipulate hardware. At the same time, cloud computing is a service that is the result of manipulation. Virtualization is a foundation element of cloud computing, whereas cloud technology is a delivery of shared resources as a service on demand via internet. Cloud is essentially made up of the concept of virtualization. So let's see the features of virtualization. The first one is partitioning. What is partitioning? Multiple virtual servers can run on physical server at the same time. Encapsulation of data. All data on the virtual server, including boot disks, is encapsulated in a file format. Next one is isolation. The virtual server running on the physical server is safely separated and do not affect each other. This is isolation. What is isolation? The virtual server running on the physical server is safely separated and do not affect each other. Right. Next one is hardware independence. When the virtual server runs, it can migrate to a different hardware platform. So these are the features of virtualization. Next, let's see the types of virtualization. Types of virtualization. Cloud has been categorized into 5 different types based on their characteristics. These are, first one is hardware virtualization, software virtualization, operating system virtualization, server virtualization, and storage virtualization. Right? What are those? Hardware, software, operating system, server, and storage virtualizations. Let's see the first one. First one is hardware virtualization. Hardware virtualization in cloud computing used in server platform, as it is flexible to use virtual machine rather than physical machines. In hardware virtualizations, virtual machine software installed in the hardware system, and then it is known as hardware virtualization. It consists of a hypervisor which used to control and monitor the process, memory, and the other hardware resources. After the completion of hardware virtualization process, the user can install the different operating system in it, and with this platform different applications can use. So it is the abstraction of computing resources from the software that uses cloud resources. It involves embedding virtual machine software into the server's hardware component. That software is called hypervisor. So what is hypervisor? Let's see once again. It is a software abstraction. Abstraction means it's an idea of computing resources from the software that uses cloud resources. It involves embedding virtual machine software into the software's hardware components. That software is called hypervisor. Hypervisor manages the shared physical hardware resources between the guest operating system and the host operating system. The abstracted hardware is represented as actual hardware. Virtualization means abstraction, and hardware virtualization is achieved by abstracting the physical hardware part using VMM or hypervisor. Hypervisors rely on command set extension in the processors to accelerate common virtualization activities for boosting the performance. The term hardware virtualization is used when VMM or virtual machine software or any hypervisor gets directly installed on the hardware system. The primary task of the hypervisor is to process monitoring, memory, and hardware controlling. After hardware installation is done, different operating systems can be installed and various applications can run on it. Hardware virtualization, when done for server platforms, is also called server virtualization. Now, let's see. There are different types of hardware virtualization. First one is full virtualization. Full virtualization is a technique in which a complete installation of one machine is run on another. The result is a system in which all software running on the server is within a virtual machine. Virtualization is relevant to cloud computing because it is one of the ways in which you will access services on the cloud. That is, the remote data center may be delivering your services in a fully virtualized format. In order for full virtualization to be possible, it was necessary for specific hardware combinations to be used. It was not until 2005 that the introduction of the AMD virtualization and Intel virtualization technologies extensions made it easier to go fully virtualized. Fully virtualized has been successful for several purposes. What are those? Sharing a computer system among multiple users, isolating users from each other and from the control program, emulating hardware on another machine. So, in full virtualization, there is no need for any modification to run any application. In addition, hardware architecture completely simulates, which benefits the guest software. There is an environment quite similar to an operating system in a server. With the help of full virtualization, the administrators allow running a virtual environment change to its physical counterpart. With the help of full virtualization, the administrators can combine the new and the existing system for something efficient. So it should be compatible with the newer system. Next, let's see the para-virtualization. Previously we discussed about full virtualization. Now we are talking about para-virtualization. Para-virtualization allows multiple operating systems to run on a single hardware device at the same time by more efficiently using system resources like processors and memory. In full virtualization, the entire system is emulated, but for para-virtualization, its management module operates with an operating system that has been adjusted to work in a virtual machine. Para-virtualization typically runs better than the full virtualization model simply because in a full virtualized deployment, all elements must be emulated. That means matching all elements. So here in para-virtualization, that allows for a better scaling. For example, if a fully virtualized solution requires 10% of the processor utilization, then 5 systems are about to most the cloud. Sorry, it's something wrong. For example, let's see. For example, if a full virtualized solution requires 10% of processor utilization, then 5 systems are about the most that could be run on a system before performance takes a hit, right? So in para-virtualization, it requires only 2% of the processor utilization per guest instance and still leaves 10% of the guest operating system is available. So let's see, para-virtualization works best in these sorts of deployments. What are those? One is disaster recovery, migration, capacity management. Now let's see one by one. What is disaster recovery? In the event of catastrophe, a guest instances can be moved to other hardware until the equipment can be repaired. Next, migration. Moving to the new system is easier and faster because guest instances can be removed from the underlying hardware. Next one is capacity management. Capacity management, it's because of easier of migrations. Capacity management is simpler to implement. It is easier to add more processing power to hardware capacity in a virtualized environment. So, in para-virtualization, the hardware not simulates and guest software runs its isolated system. It is not necessary to simulate the hardware, but it utilizes an application programming interface which modifies the guest operating system. The hypervisor provides a various commands which is sent from operating system to the hypervisor and is called hypercalls. These hypercalls are further used for memory management.